What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, SWI's price is creating an extremely bullish structure that was kind of just sitting right in front of me for a while that I didn't even recognize, but now that I have seen it, I'm very excited about it. And so because of that, I wanted to make a quick video for you this morning, telling you what we're looking at, what we're expecting next, and much more. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. And guys, don't forget, if you do want to start trading a little BTC, Solana, SWI, XRP, Pepe, and many more on all the way up to 500x leverage, you can check out that BTCC link down below, guys. If you do sign up specifically with my link to start trading on their platform today, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means that if you deposit, say, $2,000, for example, they are going to give you a $200 bonus right then, right there, for you to start trading with. And whatever profit you make from that bonus is all yours to keep, no strings attached. This is literally an opportunity to make free gains during the bull market, which, hey, there could be many gains coming soon, especially after this pullback we saw yesterday. So feel free to go check that out down below. The platform is getting better and better every single day. I do a ton of trading on it myself, so feel free again to check that out and let me know what you think. Now, before we talk about what's going on right here, I want to kind of just give you an update on what we've been looking at for the last couple weeks and how we got towards this point, because it will all be extremely important in you understanding what the big picture is here. Now, the big picture for SWI, in my opinion, is for its price to be able to make that move to $7, $8, $9, $10. That's the goal. I want to see SWI hit 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I'll figure it out from there, right? And what I told you all weeks ago is that in order for that to happen, we need to see a systematic move from SWI. We need to see higher highs, higher lows. We need to break resistance points, break above them, flip them into support. Use that support to continue upwards. Consolidate. Let our indicators reset. After that reset, continue upwards. It needs to be systematic. We need to engage and interact with our Fibonacci retracement zones and our Fibonacci extension zones. If we can do all of those things, SWI will get to 7 to 10 bucks. If we don't do those things, SWI won't get to $7 to $10. Simple as that. And so what we have been tracking has been, just simply how systematic has SWI's move been, and it's been extremely systematic. We had the descending channel, which is my favorite channel in all of crypto, my favorite structure. We were buying in the bottom side green box. We did get the breakout. We got the back test. We saw its price come up and clear the Fibonacci golden zone while also surpassing and making a new macro higher high, meaning that it broke above this golden box and cleared that previous higher high, which puts us in a spot to where the trend is now confirmed upwards. We saw SWI's price then push all the way up into the Fibonacci extension zone before coming back down, flipping this previous golden zone of resistance into a golden zone of support, and then using that support to continue upwards. Now, whenever we did see that happen, what you can see is that SWI's price then broke above its own new golden zone that we had back here and came right back up to that next Fibonacci extension zone. From there, it did get rejected, and over the last couple of days, it's come all the way back down to try to flip that previous resistance golden zone into a support golden zone, very similarly to what we have been tracking. And so throughout this entire run that we've been seeing from SWI, it's been very systematic, almost so systematic that's been a little bit predictable, which is why we've been on top of SWI so much, and which is why we have pretty much purchased every major bottom that is created for the last couple weeks. And so because of that, what I want to go over today is what is happening now, because honestly, something has been there right in front of me for a couple hours now, and I didn't even recognize, or at least probably the last day or so, if I could think about it. Yeah, probably the last day or so that I didn't even recognize until now. So now that you have a good understanding of what's been going on and the goal, which is $7 to $10 and a systematic breakout to $7 to $10, let's talk about what is happening right now. Now, I will warn you, some of the things that we talk about in the rest of this video might get a little bit confusing. And so if you are somebody who is brand new to the space, or if you're somebody who's maybe been here a while, but you're just trying to add more tools to your toolbox, all that I ask from you specifically is to just stick around until the end of the video. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our Discord server, where people are learning and growing faster than I've ever seen before, and they are generating hundreds of percentages in gains every single day, even on days like yesterday whenever the market was absolutely getting destroyed. So again, if you want to just take another step and elevate in this space, all that I ask from you is to just stick around at the end of the video. So as I mentioned before, we've been looking for this systematic move upwards, and I got some good news for you. It's just getting better. If we do actually go ahead and look at SWI's price and just remove everything, what I want to do is I want to kind of show you what I noticed. So I was looking at SWI and I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is this? It looks to me like a double top, but obviously we have the 4 points at the top, right? Like a bit of a crown top, which is a little bit unusual. We don't see those during bull markets all too often, and that could somewhat invalidate this double top here. This double top would have a breakout target back towards $3.80. So I'm thinking that's also possible though, because the breakout target to the downside of that double top does lie, look, in the golden zone. So if you were to take the breakout target of this double top, which is simply the depth of the double top to the MLS, the mid-level of support, and just apply it below the MLS, that gives you this golden zone. Now, On top of that, another thing that I was recognizing was, well, we do have a little bit of that ascending support, right? We do have this ascending support right here, which also goes through that same zone. So in my brain, I'm like, well, it feels to me like the market's pulling back a little bit, but we're starting to get bullish signs and signals going off in this, and I just couldn't figure out why. I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at it, I'm like, why is that happening? And then something caught my eye. What caught my eye was the linearness, I don't know if that's a word, but just how linear the support levels were. I was like, those look actually pretty damn linear. So I went in and I just drew a trend line across them, like, well, let's kind of just see what's going on there. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty linear. And I'm like, well, if we have bottom side linear support, do we have top side linear support? And the reason I didn't notice it was because there was no macro peak back here to create it, but something did happen right here, where we have this high, and this high also looking very linear. And then it just stood out to me. I'm like, oh, it's obvious. It's sitting directly in front of us, the fact that squeeze price is now creating my favorite channel and my favorite structure, as I mentioned to you earlier, the descending wedge. The descending parallel channel, the easiest channel, the easiest structure to make money in all of crypto, has been forming right in front of me, and I honestly didn't even recognize it. Now, the reason why this is my favorite structure, again, is because it's the easiest to make money from. Descending structures have an 80 to 85% chance of breaking to the upside, and the best purchasing opportunities in there are easy to identify because it's the bottom 25% of the distance of the channel. So what you can do is you can take this channel, divide it in half, and then you can divide that bottom half in half, which gives you the bottom 25%, the bottom 25 to 50%, and then the top 50%. And what I personally do every single time, over and over and over and over, is I just buy cryptos a little bit when they're in the gray box, a lot more when they're in the green box, and I just wait. Because more often than not, I'm going to see this crypto break towards the upside at some point. Very similarly to what we had back here. Now, interestingly enough, the creation of this descending channel is actually extremely similar to this one in the sense that we had a high, a valley, a high, a double top, a break to the downside. And look what happened right here. A high, a back test, a high, a breakout to the downside, and on a macro sense, a high, a back test, a high, a breakout to the downside. So from a micro perspective and a more midterm perspective, we created this descending channel very similarly to how we created this one back here, which is very interesting to note. Now, another thing that I like to look for to see if this is a valid creation or not is, do we have 3-point support and 3-point resistance? Yes, we do. 1, 2, 3 establishments of support, 1, 2, 3 establishments of resistance. That's a parallel channel for you. The next thing I like to look for is, well, are our indicators resetting? Yes, they are. You look at something like the 4-hour RSI, this bad boy broke all the way down to the 36% threshold yesterday, and it's still currently below the 50% threshold, which is the level in which it was at the same exact time that we saw the bottom of this move get formed, and of course the bottom of this move right here, whenever we started to see the breakout of the previous descending channel, meaning that our 4-hour RSI is backtesting and it is cooling down. We look at something like the Bollinger Bands. Your 4-hour Bollinger Bands are resetting. We are currently towards the bottom side of them. You look at something like your daily Bollinger Bands. We are currently now seeing squeeze price come back down to retest that 20 simple moving average, exactly like you would be hoping for, very similarly to what we had back here. And so all of these things point to me to say, oh no, this is a descending channel. Now, is it a 100% chance that this descending channel does what I think it's going to do? No, there's a 15% chance that squeeze price will capitulate through the bottom side of it. But even then, even if its price does capitulate through the bottom side of it, of that 15% chance that happens, 75% of the time you break back above that resistance channel that you broke to the downside of. And so the likelihood is that it's extremely, extremely, extremely likely that we're at some point going to see squeeze price break to the upside of it. When? No one knows. There's no true way of knowing. I would actually go to say that there's a decent sized chance it happens sometime soon because of what we're seeing from our 4-hour RSI, but obviously that's just speculation. But it really doesn't matter because historically, and what history says is that if you can accumulate in the bottom side of the zone, just in the green zone, no matter how low it goes, right? Even if it does this and goes all the way back to 340, once it breaks out and starts retesting these levels, you're going to end up in profit on these ones extremely fast. And what I do is I do bigger purchases the lower it goes, so my average cost gets lower and lower, making it easier and easier to end up in profit as the price breaks to the upside. And so in a situation like this, Back here, what I was doing was a decent sized purchase here, a little bit bigger there, much bigger there, so that the moment we broke out, my average cost was down here, and I immediately was in profit. Even on the back test, we back tested my profit level, basically. It's so easy, it's so obvious, and so because of that, again, it's not a 100% chance, but there's a very likely chance that that's what happens here, and so I'm just going to keep doing my normal strategy. Buy a little bit in the gray box, buy a lot more in the green box, and just wait my turn, because the likelihood is that we're going to see this bad boy, even if it does go back to 340, as I mentioned earlier, that we, or 380 or 340, whatever, that it will try to break to the upside, and that these purchases in here will end up in profit. So I always feel blessed when we can see descending channels in bull markets, because they are so easy. So I wanted to share that with you today. So your homework for the day is to draw on this descending parallel channel on these previous highs and on these previous lows. Create that channel and watch it very closely, because however we interact with this bad boy will start to give us signs and signals of when that breakout could be on the way, and then when these downside purchases can really start to turn into some profits. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you're someone who's simply just trying to get better at this whole crypto thing, I really want you to check out my crypto vault, Tyler Hill's Crypto Vault. This is the Discord server that you can join that has an absolute butt ton of stuff. I mean, we're talking about insights with Tyler, which are just my thoughts and insights, advice and guidance on things that I'm seeing in the market. We have daily live shows such as Q&A with Cade, Crypto Vault Live, Fridays with Frank, and much more. We have daily technical analysis reports that go out every single day. We also have fundamental analysis reports that go out every single day. I've hired a professional team of traders to give their buy and sell signals every day that they're trading, and you got to remember, their entire business relies on them doing good trades, and they're giving you their buy and sell signals on a daily basis. Look at these gains that they were generating even yesterday during a time where the market was falling. We have something called TA to go, which is where executive members can request technical analysis and be delivered that technical analysis from one of the analysts that I did hire. We have TA deep dives. These are these comprehensive multi-page guides on something like Doge, for example, that goes completely into the weeklies and the dailies and the hourlies, giving you a full report every single day. There's 2 or 3 of these that release every single night. We're going to have live trading sessions coming next week, executive only classes, premium classes on things like the Bollinger Bands, the Fibonacci's. We have premium questions where members can ask questions directly to myself or other coaches. Tips with Tyler. These are 2 to 3 minute long videos going over just kind of basic beginner stuff. We have beginners courses on, they're about 30 minutes long, 20-page presentations, cheat sheets, vocabulary sheets, and much more, going over things like technical analysis and leverage trading. And then of course we have the amazing community, which has been, again, generating hundreds of percentages and gains every single day. I mean, look at Sosa coming through, $5,000 gain there, $3,500 gain there, and it just goes on and on and on and on. And so if you are somebody who, again, wants to learn from all of this content, all of the value being provided here, use it to develop your own strategies and take those strategies to turn into real life gains, real money, all you need to do is go check out that Patreon link down below. Guys, you can join for as little as $5 a month, and even just the cost of a Netflix subscription for $17 a month. So what I really recommend for you to do is go check this out. Generally speaking, the general membership is for beginners. The premium membership is if you're a little more intermediate. The executive tier is for those of you who are very advanced, and there's only 7 slots remaining there. So feel free to go check all that out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and don't forget to smash the like button while you are down there. But of course, if you guys have been enjoying these 4 or 5 videos every single day, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you do want to see more, and I can't wait to see you all very soon in the next one. Peace out, everybody.